Reading for Wildlife. Written and illustrated by Zella, a project by Zella and Friends. An elephant for breakfast.
Chapter 1. Wisteria House. The post box at 17 Paradise Road rattled open. A clang. Freddie, Rose and Tom raced down the sweeping staircase, barely glancing at the small pile of letters that had landed on the floor. They pulled open the front door. The pavement was shiny with rainwater, but there was nothing on the doorstep. "Perhaps Uncle Cosmo has forgotten," said Rose with a frown as she shut the door. Hope still shone in her blue eyes. Rose's brother Tom could not resist taking the opportunity to tease her. "You're right to worry, Rose. It might get lost, or worse, stolen by pirates." Every year at the start of the summer holidays, Uncle Cosmo, who lived in Africa, sent his 5 nieces and nephews a gigantic parcel. This year it was late. Tom saw Rose start to bristle and so continued. "This box makes a dangerous journey across Africa, up the Suez Canal, all the way across the Mediterranean, and then the stormy English Channel to arrive on our doorstep." "Stop it, Tom," said Freddie, looking up from his pile of books. He noticed Rose's disappointment turning to anger. "You don't annoy me," she said to Tom, patting him on the head and ruffling his tangle of wild red hair. She knew this irritated him. Even though Tom and Rose were twins, he was still a full head shorter than she was. When she patted him on the head, it reminded him of this. He ducked away out of her reach and scowled at her. "Don't, Rose," chided Freddie softly, wagging his finger at her. Freddie was 2 years older than Rose and Tom and doted on by everyone. His gentle humour always lightened the fiercest family argument. He was born with an extra chromosome, so his muscles were a little softer than those of his siblings. This meant some things were harder for him, especially speaking clearly. But his family understood everything he said. "I'm watching you," came the warm voice of the children's mother, Alicia. Despite her being nowhere in sight, Tom and Rose stopped squabbling. Number 17 Paradise Road was a glorious old house. It was a grey shade of white and a little neglected. But what made it truly magnificent was the old wisteria that arched over the door and trailed a light purple line of flowers, which hung like great floral bunches of grapes. According to family legend, it had been planted when the house was first built, almost 200 years ago. It was because of this ancient plant that their home was called Wisteria House. Socrates, the children's grumpy cat, lived mostly on the windowsill of Wisteria House. He was called Socks for short, but Tom nicknamed him Rat Teaser whenever he arrived home with a mouse clamped between his teeth as a tender offering for the children, whom he considered too feeble to catch their own. Uncle Cosmo would send only one gift once a year. The gift had to be shared amongst all the cousins. Over the years, the timing of Uncle Cosmo's gift was predictable, but its contents were always a terrific surprise. The children looked forward to its arrival on the first day of the summer holidays with the same anticipation as for Christmas. One year, an almost life-sized rocking horse had greeted them. Everyone took turns riding it. Father pretended that the horse could bite and kick. He tried to feed it apples all summer, with no success. He gave the horse enormous respect, treating it as part of the family, saying good evening, just in case the horse takes umbrage and gives me a swift kick, he explained. His antics made the children laugh. The previous year, Uncle Cosmo had sent musical instruments, a primitive flute, drums, bells and a tambourine. The children formed a band with their cousins, Bella and Johnny, and Lucky the dog. They ran around the neighbourhood making a racket. Lucky wore her bells proudly on her collar. The jingle of these bells alternated with her howls of excitement. It all ended in a marvellous cacophony. The noise was so great that Socrates refused to join in. He slunk off as soon as the jamming session rose to an intolerable pitch. The children decided that the band needed a name, so they searched the dictionary and found the word urbane. They thought they would like their band to be considered polished, polite, and sophisticated, so they called themselves the Urbane Six. The children remembered these wonders as they sat by the window in Wisteria House looking out at the street. It was the third day of the summer holidays. It was raining. And where was the box?
Here is how you can help. Share the story. Adopt an animal from afar. Visit when you can. Educate yourself. Donate to a conservation charity. To find out more about Reading for Wildlife, visit zellahunter.com or at Lady Zella Books, or follow the Reading for Wildlife YouTube channel.